Mike Waltner, we'd like to invite you next to the stage.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you all for hosting this event. My name is Mike Waltner. I was born and raised here in Erie. I was raised primarily by my grandmother and my mother. My father was nowhere in the picture. So I know what it's like to struggle with my life. My family's experience here has really been one of struggle. My grandfather was a steel worker. He was killed while building St. Vincent's Hospital. This is the very same hospital my daughter was born at just 4 months ago. My grandmother became a labor organizer because she had 6 mouths to feed. She was a single mother before the term was even invented. She had to put food on the table, and so she banded together with other workers because she believed so strongly that workers needed to collectively bargain for better wages and benefits. And she actually lost her job organizing a hospitality workers union because she believed so strongly in those values. My mother currently, she works third shift here at a gas station. She's almost 70 years old because she can't afford to retire. I really believe that we can't accept this anymore. I think we've become accustomed to seeing increasing disparity between rich and poor in this country and right here in Northwest Pennsylvania. We've become very comfortable with people not having health care. We've become very comfortable with kids going to schools and not receiving the education that they should receive because their parents don't have a lot of money or live in a rich neighborhood. And I just don't believe that we can accept that. Now, I've spent my entire career working to serve other people. I graduated from Penn State University here in Pennsylvania. Following that, I went to work at Erie Children's Center with kids that had developmental disabilities and mental health problems. I felt a call to the ministry. I went off to Union Theological in New York City, one of the most progressive seminaries in the country. And it was there that I really began to engage on a number of social issues. I became a grassroots organizer. And what really pushed me into moving into more publicly focused work were the attacks of September 11th. And the following day, I went down, on September 12th, I went down with a group of seminary students. And I remember very clearly it was much different than it was on television. I remember people from all walks of life, people who were very different than, from one another, coming together to help. I remember people cheering on the rescue effort. I remember talking to family members of the victims. And it was really something that changed my life and made me reconsider what then I still consider to some degree, I guess, to be my vocation. And so, I began working with religious leaders, people very different from one another, and building coalitions around issues that we all care about: poverty, healthcare access, domestic violence issues, substance abuse and addiction, and pioneered a lot of programs. Some of them actually earned national attention. And I came back to Erie. I began working at the Cathedral of St. Paul as a program coordinator, continuing to address a lot of those issues, continuing to work with religious leaders. And I want to say, I'm in this race for the right reasons. I really believe that leadership in government has to be rooted in service to ordinary people. I don't come from a political background, and I actually think that's a good thing. I think we need to change the type of people that we're sending to Washington if we really want to make change. I also want to say something to folks in the LGBT community. I think this is really important. I know because of my background in the religious community, it raises a lot of concerns, a lot of red flags from people. I understand that. I want to say that I've seen friends, gays and lesbians, denied, people that are called to the ministry denied the legitimacy of being at the pulpit because of their sexual orientation. I've seen what happens when people discriminate against other people. And I promise you, that if you send me to this seat, that I will fight to make our society live up to the ideals that are laid out in our Constitution. We have fallen short of the ideals that are called for in the Constitution in the past: women's suffrage, civil rights, denying, first of all, allowing people to be owned, and then segregation, Jim Crow. And we've seen what the struggles that people have to endure just to get a spot at the table. Now, there's a lot of people in politics that don't believe that we can get there together, that we can't arrive at a better society together, that we have to leave some people behind, or we need to scapegoat some people. I do not believe that. And I will fight every day to make sure that we implement reforms to eliminate discrimination in the workplace. I will make sure that we will fight to make sure that people will have the same rights as anyone else. And I will never allow a narrow or a moral sectarian viewpoint to be imposed on the rest of the population. I don't think that's right. That's my promise to you. Because I want to be honest with you. Because stump speeches aside, this is what it's about. I really believe that I can represent people on the east side, people right here, people in the suburbs, people in Butler, and I think I can do a good job and be a progressive and be faithful to democratic principles. We have an advantage of 10,000 registered Democratic voters in this district. There's no reason why Phil English should hang on to this seat. It is not a lifetime appointment. So I'm asking you on the 22nd to elect me to be your representative, to elect me to have this seat. I can beat Phil English. I know I can. We have a national fundraising base. We have the biggest grassroots operation of anyone else in this race. On Saturday, we knocked on 5,000 doors in Erie County. So we're getting our message out, and I hope you'll give me that chance. Thank you very much.
Kick it line with the CLB. Hey yo, that be the DJ rolling with me.